What's up, homies? Here we are out at the lake. It's wintertime, it's cold, and we're gonna do some jerkbait fishing today. We got nice, beautiful skies. See the sun? There he is. Right now, the air temps are like right at 40. The water temps are gonna be like 39. There's ice in the back of this cove on the way in. All the farm ponds are iced up. It's wintertime, folks. It's wintertime. Everything is slow and low. So we're gonna go out there and throw some jerkbaits. I'm gonna try a bunch of different jerkbaits and see which jerkbait is the best for the day. We got the 6th Sense Provoke. We got these Lucky Crafts, the SP100s, got some Strike King, the 300 series, the Deep Diver, got the old traditional Rogues. We have got the mixed stick. What else do we got in here? Got the re-range, Jackall re-range. Caught my big muskie on that dude. We got some RC sticks. We got some Rapalas. We have got, that's another Lucky Craft. Bunch of pointers, we got a MegaBass in here. We got some little SP78s. This is my smaller jerkbait box. It's mostly got Lucky Craft, the SP78s. That is one, I can't remember what that's called. Oh, this is this DD Squirrel 79. I haven't thrown this around much, but I heard it's really good in cold water. It gets down there pretty deep. I'm gonna probably throw that around a little bit. We got some shad wraps that could come into play. Got some of these smaller Lucky Strikes. What else we got in here? Got the Stacy 90. Shout out to Matt Allen. He made me purchase a couple of those. It's kind of a weird jerkbait. It really has a nose down like this in the water column. It gets down there pretty deep too. So we're gonna dump this boat in, get out there and see what's going on. It's gonna be tough, it's gonna be slow, but we're gonna try to pick up a few fish and talk about what is going on. Hey, give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the content. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's go. Fishing. Wind is blowing, it's cold, but we're going. Day off, got to do it. Let's see if we can catch something. The back of Pomona is completely iced over. Here's some more ice right here. Yeah, water's cold. My graph hasn't warmed, my transducer hasn't warmed up enough to tell you exactly what it is. I got 40.5 right now, but I think it's going to get even colder. There's what ice looks like on the side scan. There he is. I don't know if you can see, there's a laydown right there. And I just let this thing fall down. It's a nice fish. Just let this jerkbait fall down beside that laydown. Nice. 39-degree water, guys. It's a good fish, too. Barely hooked. He's barely hooked. Get in here. Right. There we go. See that laydown right there? I threw about, I don't know, about 10 feet off to where you can see it. Probably 20 feet off where you can see it. And I just twitched that jerkbait and just let it fall. I got this weighted to where it sinks really, really slow. And my line just got tight. That fish was sitting right on that little laydown right there. The little SP78. Lucky Craft in the bait fish color. It's kind of been, I mean, I've been getting a few bites on this winter. It's a nice jerkbait. It's finessey. I'm throwing it on 10-pound test. Got that little loose jerkbait rod. It gets down there about 8 feet. I've got it weighted to where it's sinking kind of slow. So you can just twitch it and just let it fall. It didn't take too long. Actually, I think I had it sitting for probably like 6 or 7 seconds. But just targeting these little laydowns, and maybe that's what I need to do. The water temp is 39 degrees, so I'm happy to just get a bite. So we'll let this guy go. He's cold. He's a good boy. You're a good boy, little fishy. Thank you for playing. It's like somebody had a good Christmas. Guess the water's up. It's up in the trees. Some fresh fuel for the fire. Okay, we're on to spot number 3. First spot, produce. Second spot, no. But the wind was too strong on the other side of the hill there, the wind is just ridiculous, so I had to get out of it a little bit. I'm gonna start keying on this wood. I'm gonna switch some jerk baits around, see if I can get them to react to different colors. It's kind of clouding up, it's starting to cloud up. So that's kind of that tricky color selection period. You know, when it's sunny, the chrome side, something really flashy is typically the go-to, clown color. When it's overcast, you go to like your French pearls or your more solid colors. But these kind of days, it's kind of a mix. You got to play around and see which ones they want. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start keying on some of these laydowns, see if we can get some bite.
Got a nice juicy laydown. Boat's in like 23 feet of water. Try to finesse it through there as I get him. There he is. Ah, missed him. There's a bite. There he is. Nice. Right off the end of that laydown. Right off the end of that laydown. There you go. Now that fish, you know, he got that back hook. But I was kind of, instead of twitching it, I was kind of like just, I don't know, dragging it, almost like a Carolina rig. Just real slow, but it was definitely off that piece of wood. So we're starting to get a pattern. The water's 40 degrees over here, so it's warmed up a degree. It's out of the wind, and I don't know, we got a little bit of riprap, but there's grass all the way around this lake, so you can't fish super shallow. But that's something. That's telling me something there. I think there's some kind of wood pattern going on here. Just a matter of getting out of the wind enough to where you can slow down and fish this stuff. But I'm still on this little 78. This is my confidence jerkbait. I think a white belly is the deal. Anytime you got, well, almost anytime I like a white belly on my jerkbait. If it's cloudy, if it's clear, it doesn't matter. It seems like that just, for me, that's one of my confidence deals right there. Some people like chartreuse, and I've got some chartreuse baits coming. Shout out to Trey Harple if he gets them going, which is going to happen sometime. They're the dual Realis blanks, and he's going to paint me up some with that chartreuse lime color or whatever on the belly. So I'll be throwing those around here shortly. But white's confidence for me. There he is. Yeah, that's a better fish. That fish hammered it. It's a better fish. Came up off that laydown. Feels like a lot better fish. That was a nice bite. It's just sitting there, and all of a sudden I saw my line drop. My line just jumped. Oh yeah, that's the one we're looking for. That's the one we're looking for. That's a nice one. That's a nice one there. Come here, buddy. Come up in here. Let's take a look at you. Yeah, he got it good that time. All right. Fat fish. It's hard to change. I think I found the color. I mean, you know, we talked about trying a bunch of different stuff, and I still will. But man, look how fat that fish is. They're so healthy right now. Beautiful colors. Nice bright belly. Just great, man. It's awesome. But that little SP78, the DD. I'm seeing a lot of fish suspended up higher in the water column today, which is kind of cool. So everything I got is kind of deep diving. I'm gonna rig up just a traditional like 110, something that gets down there about 4 or 5 feet. And as I try to develop this pattern, I'm gonna throw that around, see if that makes a difference. But really nice fish. That was sitting there for probably like 5 seconds, and I just kind of did a little sweep and let it sit again, and then my line just jumped. So she hammered it. Beautiful fish. Let's let you go. Beautiful thing.
fish relating to this. I don't know if you can see them, but there is a stack of fish down there. We're gonna try to catch these guys. Look at that.
Oh yeah, right underneath the boat. That's all those fish on the graph. Get in here, Buster. See these fish on the graph right here? Damn, he got me in my shoestring. Look at that. Freaking treble hook came off. Crazy. Wow. Okay, look. These fish are on the graph. That fish hit almost underneath the boat. Aggressive fish. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but I've got a mess. Treble hook actually went in my shoe.
Check this out. Hook came off. Jerkbait in the shoestring. There's the hook hanger, and this hook's supposed to be on there, so.
That was cool. Just fishing this bluff bank, and I saw some fish. I went over some fish on my down scan, and the jerkbait was almost below the boat, and all of a sudden, man, my line just jumped. And there's more back there. I've got a jerkbait in my shoestring. The front hook came off actually, but I did manage to get it in. It got crazy there for a second.
Just lucky I got that fish in. Crazy times out here on the water.
There he is. Nice one. That's on the Spro stick. Oh yeah, that's a good one, guys. Switched up to the Spro stick. I'm just kind of playing around in the blue bandit color. And we got us a nice fish. Off this little secondary point. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a real good one. That's one we're looking for right there. That fish ate it. Yeah, that fish is... Come here, buddy. There we go. That's a nice tank. That's how you want the fish to eat it right there. Look how fat that fish is. Good God. Oh my God. So I'm just fishing this little secondary point here. It's got a lay down on it. Imagine that. And I switched up to this Spro stick. Look how wide that fish is. Good God. I mean, that is just fat beast. Drifting down this grass. Right on the outside of the grass line too, but blue bandit Spro stick. Playing around. It's got that white belly, so the white belly seems to be the deal. But that fish crushed it. Sitting up there real shallow feeding. That fish was in about 5 feet of water, guys. So 39-degree water. Fish is in 5 foot of water. Just around this grass. Oh man, that feels good. That's a beauty. That's a beauty, guys. That's a beauty, mate. All right, let's let this beautiful fish go. Man, that's a nice fish. Good, solid fish. Got shells on there. That's kind of cool. Let's let it go back where I got it at. Get on out of here, big guy. Or big girl. That's cool. That was nice.
Sandwich break time. Shout out to Denny. Sandwich. Good stuff.
There he is. Sir, it was hot. Came right off that piece of wood. Went back to that 78. Catch that fish. Man, that fish smoked it. Fish was shallow. Acted like it was springtime. Just hammered that bait. There's fish everywhere in here.
There's a nice group of fish.
I threw an underspin, threw that little swim bait, threw a jig. I didn't throw a shaky head, but they're just kind of wandering around in here. Can't get them to bite anything, but I did get one to bite this little jerkbait. This found us a nice fresh Christmas tree. You know, winter times, a lot of these crappie fishermen get out here and they drop stuff. So as I scan, I'm always finding new brush piles and stuff. That's a nice one. Look at there, another one. Another good fish. There we go. Okay, so that blue banded again. Man, I've only made a couple casts with this thing, caught 2 really nice fish on it. But we're just fishing, you know, we got some deep water really close by, and these fish have definitely pulled up. It's kind of exciting, 40-degree water. The last couple trips I've had in 40-degree water have not been good, other than that muskie that I caught. If you haven't seen the muskie video, check that out. It's pretty good. Caught my PB muskie. Water was really cold. There we go. Awesome.
All right, folks, we're gonna wrap this up. Had a pretty good day out on the water. You know, winter fishing can be tough, and today it was kind of nice. The fish were cooperating. One thing I noticed that with the sun being out a little bit, the fish had moved up a little bit higher in the water column, and the last couple weeks, it hadn't been that way. They'd been kind of sucked down to the bottom, which made the jerkbait bite a little bit more difficult. Today, they were up a little bit higher in the water column, and one pattern that I noticed that was developing was wood. The fish were definitely relating to wood. And the question is, which jerkbait is the best? And man, that is really a wide open question. I would say there's many different jerkbaits out there that work great, and it just depends on the lake and the conditions, and most importantly, the confidence you have in that bait. So you've got to kind of jump around. I tried a lot of different jerkbaits. So let's look at some of the jerkbaits I tried, and we'll talk a little bit about them. I threw this KVD 300 series deep diver in the IU pattern. I also threw the KVD 300 series deep diver in the black kind of gold chrome with a white belly. And in my opinion, I think this one has a little bit too much action for that 40-degree water temperature. I mean, you could definitely slow it down and maybe get some bites on it, but it just didn't seem like the right bait for the situation. I tried this is a Lucky Craft Pointer SP100 in American Shad color. It's got that white belly. It's got a lot of flash. Got some really pretty colors. And that's something that I get bites on. That wasn't the deal today. I threw the MegaBass. This is a Western Clown color. This is just a Vision 110. And then here's the Pro Blue in the Vision 110. And also threw the 6 Cents Provoke. And it's got kind of the transparent sides with a little bit of white on the belly. No bites on that. And of course the Jackall Rerange 110. I think this is like strobe light or something. It's got that chartreuse belly. But I didn't get bites on any of those. What I did find that was consistent was they wanted a jerkbait that had a white belly, and that's something I find a lot. If you're largemouth fishermen, you definitely want jerkbaits with that white belly, especially on overcast days. It seems to make a difference. The jerkbaits that I did catch fish on, I also threw this little SB78 in the bluegill pattern, which that's a good one at times too. It's got that kind of orange throat. Caught fish on that, but they just didn't want that today. The 2 jerkbaits that stood out today were the Spro mixed stick, and this is the blue bandit color. It's a 110, I believe it's a 110 length, but this is a great jerkbait. This jerkbait is going to get down there around that 5 to 6 foot zone. And let me show you something I do to help these things suspend. I've got several of these Spro mix sticks and they seem to rise on me. So what I've done to combat that is I've replaced the number 6 treble hook in the front with a number 4, and I put a little split ring on there. You can see a little split ring on there. And I always run a snap so I can change out my baits quickly. Any of my treble hook baits, crankbaits, jerkbaits, all that kind of thing, traps, I always run a snap on there so I can swap them around. So you got 2 6s, then you got a 4 and a split ring. Another thing you can do is put some suspend dots or suspend strips on the throat, will help it. But that right there, that number 4, that's a KVD Mustad short shank 1X EWG, I believe. It's a pretty good hook to trade out. It's a little bit beefy, so you got to swing on them a little bit hard, but it's a nice, strong, heavy hook, and that's going to make that thing suspend. The other bait that I caught fish on, and it's one of my confidence bait, is this is a Lucky Craft SP78, the DD. It's got that longer bill, and this is the bait fish pattern. But you see it's got that white belly. This mixed stick, the white belly. So the white belly was the deal today, and you've got to try different jerk baits. There is not one that is better than the other, in my opinion. There's some that cast better. The MegaBass, definitely a good caster, but you know, the re-range and the 6 Sense jerkbait, they all cast well. The KVD jerkbait cast well. So, you know, the technology's gotten a lot better. They got weight transfer systems in them, a lot of these baits, so they cast really, really well. The only one that you had to be a little bit careful with is that little 78. It's a little bit lighter. I can still manage it on a bait caster with the right setup, but you may go to a spinning rod on that. So there really isn't a better jerkbait, in my opinion. It's just what you've got confidence in. It's really a color thing. On bright sunny days, typically something with some flash, some silver sides, but I still like that white belly, some chrome sides, something that's got, you know, a lot of bling that throws a flash out there and draws those fish's attention. But sometimes they want something that's more translucent, depending on the mood. On cloudy days, I like something that's a little bit more bold. I like that French pearl, something like a sexy shad. That's something that's kind of loud and has a real good presence in the water. Seems to get some bites for me. But hey, appreciate you guys coming along on this little venture. We had a good day. It's feeling good. Caught some decent fish for sure. It's been great out here. Water temps were cold, but we managed to catch some fish. So if you appreciate the content, please give me that thumbs up. I'd appreciate a subscribe as well. And till next time.
The bite. God. Good fish. I'll lay down.